Hey, time to play some ball live from Mulcahey Stadium here in Anchorage, Alaska. It's the final day of the 2024 Scout Showcase from Mulcahey Stadium here in the state's largest city. A warm, toasty, cloudless afternoon here in Anchorage, and the Goldpanners ready to face off against their oldest rivals, the Anchorage Glacier pilots. It's been a while since the Goldpanners and pilots have met, but they have met a whole lot over the years. Some great battles since back in 1969 when the Glacier pilots were formed as the second team in the state of Alaska. And they have called this facility home ever since. Goldpanners and Glacier pilots. Goldpanners with 6 national titles, the pilots with 5. Pilots' most recent was in 2001, Goldpanners in 2002. And really that kind of was almost the end of that era at the NBC World Series. They still put on the World Series in Wichita, but it's much more regional now. Not, unfortunately, not what it once was. A big international, massive tournament featuring the best summer teams around the world. But I digress. Today we get to renew acquaintances with the Glacier pilots here at Mulcahey Stadium. Garrow Von Dane with you live. Chris Carlson on the porch to my right. And again, a hot, sunny Sunday afternoon. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. Hope you're enjoying your Father's Day and glad you can join us for some Goldpanners baseball. What better way to spend it, right? Panners are the home team this afternoon, so the Panners are the road team today, so they will bat first. The pilots taking the field under the announcements currently by the public address person here today. The Panners are 3-3-1 on the season, a tie yesterday against the Matsu Miners. And the Glacier pilots off to a tough start this year in Alaska League action. They are 2-5. The pilots are 3-time defending ABL champs, but off to a slow start right now. They tied the Bucks last night by a 2-2 final. And now we will have the singing of the national anthem before our first pitch, Goldpanners and Glacier pilots.
Thank you. Our first pitch today, we will start out. There will be no national anthem as we already did that in the first game today. Thank you so much. We will do our first ceremonial first throw here. Coming up to the pitcher's mound.
So no national anthem because they thought they were going to, but then remembered they did it before the first game. Some sad news to report here today as Michael Brumley, former Glacier pilot, perished yesterday in a car crash. Michael Brumley, who had a long major league career, primarily as a shortstop, playing from 87 through 95 for a bunch of teams, Cubs, Tigers, Mariners, Red Sox, Astros, A's. He was a switch hitter. And the son of former catcher Mike Brumley, Sr. And he played here for the Glacier pilots. So Mike Brumley dying in a car accident last night at the age of just 61. Goldpanners and pilots ready to go here from Mulcahey Stadium in Anchorage. Panners trying to get back in the win column. 3-game winless streak right now for Fairbanks. Panners hope to get something going here today offensively. Panners came back to tie that game yesterday, trailed at 3-0 in the 6th. Remember, these are 7-inning games. And rallied for 3 to tie that game. And a leadoff single by Mikey Bell started things off. But reliever Eduardo Mendoza really fell apart in that inning for Matsu. Gave up a couple of walks, hit batsman, 2 wild pitches in the inning. So the Panners really were more than pleased to take the gifts from Mendoza, but would like to start swinging the bats a little bit better after some tough games here lately. Panners batting just 181 over their last 3 games. Now, that doesn't sound great, but let's take a look at the Glacier Pilots. I mentioned they are 2-5 on the season so far. They are batting just 158 right now. They have scored 6 runs in 5 games in ABL play. And the Panners are going to send the 6'4" left-hander Lucas Zach to the mound today out of Cal Baptist, making his second appearance. And Colin Hunter is the 6'1" right-hander for the Glacier Pilots out of Sacramento State University. On the hill, getting loose now here on the artificial field turf surface in the infield, natural grass in the outfield. Panners and Glacier Pilots. 2 minutes past 3 local time. Our middle game of the final day of the 2024 Scout Showcase. Lots of planes flying through the air here. I can see a couple of float planes and a Cessna right from where I sit here in the press box. Ready to go here as the Goldpanners will lead off with Troy McCain, center fielder. Rocco Caballero will bat second and play second base. Mikey Bell in the 3 spot, playing third. And the first pitch is outside from Colin Hunter, the 6'1" right-hander. Batting cleanup is Matthew Leiterman. Isaiah Munoz, the designated hitter, batting 5th. Donovan Ratfield gets the start at first, as that one's fouled back to the netting. Griffin Harrison, shortstop, will bat 7th. Matthew Chavez in the 8th spot, and Zach Doyle in right field and batting 9th. 1-1 count on McCain. Swings through it for strike 2. Troy McCain for the Goldpanners. Redshirt freshman from Cuesta. Takes upstairs 2-2 McCain. Tough start at the plate this year, just 2 for 23 thus far. It's 0-87. See if Troy can get things going here at the top of the order. Swing and a miss, he strikes out.
Up to bat next, number 2, Rocco Caballero.
Rocco Caballero will bat second here with the bases empty and 1 down, just underway here from Anchorage. Some Goldpanner parents here in attendance, catching these games at Mulcahey in Midtown Anchorage. This one is chopped left side, foul ball. Panners have been enjoying their stay at the Captain Cook Hotel. Man, way better digs than we ever stayed in our ABL days in Anchorage. We used to stay at this place called the Mush Inn, which is still there. And let me tell you, unless you like dark, nefarious activity, the Mush Inn is not for you. The Panners staying in the Captain Cook. We also used to stay in the University of Alaska dorms. Check swing fouled off by Caballero. Ball and 2 strikes. And also in years past stayed at the Royal Suites, which is kind of an ironic name. Here's the 1-2. Chopped foul at home plate by Caballero. Bell will be followed by Mikey Bell. Caballero, the sophomore from San Jose State out of Downey, California. Catching for Colin Hunter is Evan Chadwick for the Glacier Pilots. Here's the 1-2. Off the fists, a roller towards second. Charging it is Dylan Marks. 2 down here in the first inning. Let's go around the rest of the Pilots' defense. It's Jake Dodge at first base. Mentioned Marks at second. Shortstop is Chase Knight. Brendan Shanahan at third base. Hunter Backstrom in left. Luke Stulga as the center fielder. And Jack Dorn is in right. Pilots wearing those traditional uniforms they've had for many years, the royal blue and white. Let's say pilots across the front. Glacier pilots, of course, a famous, dangerous profession here in the 49th state. Here's the 0-1. Gold panning is not safest occupation either, but always a little bit safer when you're on terra firma. Here's the 0-2 now to Mikey Bell. Goldpanner third baseman. Swings and misses. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for the starting pitcher, Colin Hunter. Panners go in order. Pilots coming to bat. Hunter Backstrom will lead off for the Glacier Pilots as we head to the bottom of the first inning, and taking the ball for the Goldpanners here tonight, or this afternoon, is Lucas Zach, the left-hander, 6'4", out of Cal Baptist. Lucas Zach, hailing from Lake Arrowhead, California. Second appearance through 2 innings, his first outing. 1 hit, couple of walks, and 3 strikeouts. Gets a swing and a miss. It's 0-2 quickly on Backstrom. Backstrom and then Dylan Marks, followed by the designated hitter, Luke Hefner. In the cleanup spot will be Brendan Shanahan. Luke Stolga will bat 5th, and Chase Knight in the 6th spot. 0-2 pitch, fouled back. 7, 8, 9 for the Glacier Pilots. Jack Dorn, Jake Dodge, and Evan Chadwick. Hot, sunny afternoon here in Anchorage. Final day of the Scout Showcase. And the 0-2 pitch to Backstrom. Swing and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout. Yesterday, the Panners were 1 pitch from an immaculate inning from Trey Peters in the second inning. He went with 2-3 in the first, then the second. First 8 pitches were strikes. couldn't quite nail it. Good outing nonetheless, though. For Peters, 2 innings, no runs, 3 hits. 5 different Goldpanners pitching in the game. That 3-3 tie against the Matsu Miners. Dylan Marks takes up and away. Marks, 5'11" right-handed freshman from Feather River College, takes the strike. It's 1-2. Pilots are coached by Richie Price, assisted by Jordan Brink and Tim Massey. The 1-2. Blew it by him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lucas Zach. Good start for Zach. And we'll face Luke Hefner.
For the Glacier Pilots.
Hefner,
Number 18, Luke Hefner.
junior from Dallas Baptist. Two out, spaces empty for the Pilots here in the bottom of the first 7-inning game. Panners looking to get back in the win column. We're 3-1 on the year. Now we're 3-3-1. Now I have to add a tie every time I read the Panners record the rest of the year. Nothing in 2. Hefner against Zach. Again, this Pilots team has had trouble hitting this year. .58 so far. Strikeout swinging. A 1-2-3 first for Zach. He strikes out the side. No score after 1. Garrow Von Dane here at Mulcahey Stadium, Anchorage, Alaska. Perched up here in the press box above the turf. Posted a picture on my Twitter of our little perch up here, Chris to my right. And I am 2 windows to his left. If you're on Twitter, at Voice of G-Man, you can see that shot here of the Mulcahey press box. A lot of memories here. I've been waxing on the last couple of days about some of the times we've had here. Panners and Pilots tangled up here, 2nd inning. Great to see these two teams on the field together. Great rivalry over the years. No balls and 2 strikes on Goldpanner Matt Leiterman. That one's way outside. Each pitcher went 1-2-3 in their first inning of work. Colin Hunter for the Pilots, Luke Zach for the Goldpanners. And Hunter back on the hill, the 6'1" right-hander, Sacramento State. Hit towards short and under the glove of shortstop Knight. He just routine backhand stop got under the glove. And so Leiterman is on base with the E6 and the leadoff man aboard for Fairbanks. That brings up Isaiah Munoz, the designated hitter. Break there for the Panners. Munoz, a .294 hitter so far. Sophomore from Cal State Northridge. Chops this one to third. The infield was in shallow. Throw to second in time. They're not going to try to get Munoz at first, so the 5-4 force out of Leiterman.
Next bat for the Fairbanks Goldpanners, number 28, Donovan.
Munoz safe on the fielder's choice. So the infield in couldn't blow it past them. And now Donovan Ratfield, the batter. Recent arrival for the Goldpanners. Was one of the team leaders last year. A great season behind the plate and offensively batting .404. Finished red hot down the stretch, including that trip to Oregon. That one is fouled off. Panners and Pilots, second inning. Father's Day edition of Goldpanners baseball. Down low, and we obviously wish everyone, all the fathers and dads out there, happy Father's Day, and always looking out for those of you that find Father's Day to be a difficult day, and I know there are many. Throw to first base, runner back safely. Holidays are complicated, aren't they? And hopefully you can all enjoy your Father's Day, however you're spending it today, and we appreciate you spending part of it with us here on PannerVision. Lined into center field, coming in to make the catch on the run, though, is Stulga. Hard hit ball, but right at Stulga. That's out number 2. Ratfield, it's going to break out any moment here. You can feel it. And here's Griffin Harrison, another second-year Goldpanner from 2 seasons ago, under former head coach Mark Lindsay, who was in town a few days ago, but then abruptly had to leave. And skipped in the turf, and easy opportunity for Munoz to take second on the wild pitch. Charge to Colin Hunter. Panners with a runner in scoring position here in this scoreless game in the top of the second. Once again, I don't have a monitor here, so I will not be able to check out the YouTube chat. But you all get involved. I like to take a peek in after the games and see what I missed. Grounder right side, on to first, and 4-3 ground out. Finishes the Goldpanners here in the second. No runs, no hits, 1 left on and an error. We've played 1.5 for Mulcahey Stadium in Anchorage. No score, Pilots and Panners.
University playing third base.
Leading off for the Pilots here in the bottom of the second inning. Not the former Hartford Whaler and Detroit Red Wing, Brendan Shanahan, but a different one. Third baseman for the Glacier Pilots. No score, bottom of the second inning. That one is ripped down the left field line, but it hooks foul into the Goldpanner bullpen.
That foul ball is brought to you by the insurance.
Cleanup hitter for the Pilots, Shanahan, then Luke Stolga and Chase Knight do up 4, 5, and 6 spots in the Glacier Pilots batting order. Garo Von Dane here at Mulcahey Stadium in Anchorage. It's been a fun weekend here. I went to the the Alaska Zoo this morning. I like free, and the zoo was free to dads this morning. Man, were there a lot of people there. 3-1 from Zach. Shanahan, the batter, at a Fresno State University. Lifts this one high. It's slicing away, but catching up to it is the right fielder Doyle. Slicing away from McCain, but Doyle on the run. Makes the grab, and Shanahan is out number 1 here, brings up Luke Stolga. The Alaska Zoo is pretty cool. I didn't go to zoos for about, well, decades, because the zoos when I was a kid were horrifying places. Alaska Zoo is much different. It's more like an animal sanctuary. I had a good time there. There was some live music. And then over here to the ballpark. Our hot afternoon of baseball at Mulcahey. Luke Stolga, the center fielder for the Pilots, batting with 1 out and the base is empty. We'll see what kind of leash the Panners give Lucas Zach today. They've been getting lots of arms into the game because it is the Scout Showcase. Panners used 5 pitchers yesterday. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. Against the Chinooks on the first day, Panners used 4 different pitchers. So this is the 10th arm they've used thus far. Panners fell to Chugiak despite allowing just 3 Chinooks hits. 2 of those hits, though, were solo home runs. Lost 3-2. Panners still trying to get the bats going. Last 3 games, just averaging 6 hits per game. 3-3 tie with the Miners yesterday. Into right center field, but charging in to make the catch is McCain. Back-to-back lineouts to the right center field area.
Up to bat next for your Glacier Pilots, number 13.
And that'll bring up Chase Knight. Some more people here in the building today, but most of them huddled underneath the cover for some shade. Knight, another freshman out of Fresno State. Looking at the Pilots roster, some Fresno State guys. Santa Barbara, Grand Canyon, Feather River represented, Dallas Baptist, West Virginia University, back in my neighborhood. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, base is empty. And neither team with a hit thus far. Panners had the only base runner who reached on an error in the second inning. And here's the 1-2 from Lucas Zach. The left-hander sets and delivers. Fouled off at the plate. Panners are in the third base dugout today. A pretty good crowd up the line, too. So way more people than we've had for previous games here at this tournament. Of course, this is the first time it's involved an Anchorage team. A bunch of Fairbanks people making the trip down here, too. Not just the parents who have flown in, but our friend Kari's here, drove down from Fairbanks. Panner season ticket holder for many years. Kevin Ginley here in the house. I think Kevin moved down here. He used to live up the street from Panner Manor. Did some public address and some broadcasting for the Goldpanners in years past. And Andrew Bunton is here. Public address man from the last couple of years. 3-2 now on Chase Knight, fouled off. Panners are going to stick around tonight, one more night at the Captain Cook downtown. I'll be here a couple more nights, and then I'll make the drive up to Fairbanks in the morning of the next game, Wednesday morning, before the Men's League All-Stars take on the Goldpanners in their annual meeting. And then on Thursday, the Midnight Sun Series. And check it out, Friday's the Midnight Sun game. We're almost there. Here's the 3-2. Grounded right side. Easy play for Caballero. Ooh, speedy runner Knight, though. Caballero takes care of him. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Lucas Zach. Scoreless after 2.
From Colton, California Baptist.
Matthew Chavez will lead off for the Goldpanners as we go to inning number 3 here, this 7-inning contest. Scout Showcase 2024. Mulcahey Stadium, Anchorage, Alaska. Stadium was built about 1964. Pilots were born in 1969 with the help of Goldpanner general manager Don Dennis. Got together with some people in Anchorage, so we need another team here in Alaska to play. So they formed the Pilots, helped them build a roster. And what did the Pilots do in their first season? Well, they won everything. They won the national tournament. Don and the Panners doing a bit too good of a job. Colin Hunter does a good job and strikes out Matthew Chavez for the first out here in the 3rd inning. The starting pitcher Hunter working into the 3rd. Chavez out number 1. Zach Doyle in the 9 spot will bat. Left-handed hitter for the Goldpanners, Doyle. Freshman from UC Irvine. Zach's parents in the house here today. Slow roller to short, and that one's thrown over the head of the first baseman Dodge, and into second base safely is Doyle. That ball launched. And the error, second error of the game, gives the Goldpanners another base runner and into scoring position. Just one out, and we go to the top of the order for Troy McCain. We noticed the Pilots' lack of hitting so far this year. Pitching numbers have not been stellar either. Earned run average of 4.5 so far this year, but Hunter's been pitching well, but a couple of errors on pretty routine plays for the Pilots so far in this game. Zach wants to get rid of one of his pads and does so. Ball and a strike here on McCain. Swings and misses. Troy still looking to get that bat going. Base hit here would help his mindset and also help the Goldpanners to the lead in all likelihood. He awaits the 1-2 offering from Hunter out of Sacramento State. Looks at the runner at second. Comes home, deals up and away, ball 2. 1 out. Doyle is at second base, and McCain is the batter with Caballero on deck. Two ball, 2 strike pitch. That one's fouled back. Good job by McCain. Out of Corona, California, 5'11" right-handed hitter. Panners need to get a big inning here. It's been a long time for their psyche, if nothing more. That one's fouled back. They've just not been able to stack hits together. And very few extra base hits either over the past 3 games. And things are going to get tough with the Seattle Studs coming to town pretty soon for the Midnight Sun Series. Swing and a miss. Kane strikes out for the second time in the game and brings up Caballero. There's number 2 for the Goldpanners, who are in their camouflage jerseys today. I wonder if the Panners will unveil something new for the Midnight Sun game this year. It's kind of been the tradition in recent years, the brand new jerseys for the Midnight Sun game. I truthfully have not heard a thing. This one's grounded to short by Caballero. Throw is on the money. That's it for the Goldpanners in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, 1 left on, and an error. 2.5 in the books. Scoreless, Panners and Pilots. Goldpanners and Glacier pilots, first meeting in a bunch of years between these old rivals who met so many times over the years, from 1969 through 2015. Glacier pilots have put a lot of guys into the big leagues too. Some names you've probably heard of: Mark McGuire, Randy Johnson, a whole lot more. Nothing in 2, Lucas Zach. Working to Jake Dorn. Strike 3 called, painted perfectly on the black. Dorn, the 4th strikeout victim for Luke Zach. What a start he's had in this game.
Next for your Glacier pilots, number 26.
Both pitchers cruising so far. Hunter's had to work a little harder for the pilots because some defensive miscues behind him. Here's Jake Dodge, first baseman, out in front of that pitch from Zach. Swings and misses for strike 1. Big cut from Dodge. No score, bottom of the 3rd inning. Still the first time through the order. Dodge, 6'4" left-handed hitting sophomore from Santa Barbara. Fouls it off, it's 1-2. See what other pitchers get into the game today from both teams. And Panners really don't have a lot of time left to think about this question, but who will be your midnight Sun game starter? Trey Peters making a case for it with 2 scoreless yesterday in his 2nd outing. Strike 3 called, and Lucas Zach is going to have something to say about it too, as he K's Dodge. That is the 5th strikeout over the first 8 batters he's faced. Midnight Sun game is 5 days away. So really, both guys could potentially be available. But I'm merely speculating. I have no idea what head coach Brett Latchman's thinking and his coaching staff. But what an honor that is to get the call to start the Midnight Sun game. This will be the 119th edition all-time and the 64th for the Goldpanners. Chadwick in front here, 3 balls and no strikes. Pilots do not have a base runner yet in the game. 8 up and 8 down for Zach so far, but he falls behind Evan Chadwick. 3 balls and no strikes. Right down the interstate for a strike. Chadwick taking all the way. Sophomore from Lynn Benton College out of La Palma, California. 3-1. Foul back right to me. That would have hit me right in the throat if the wall wasn't separating us. Now the count 3-2. Zach shakes off one call and misses upstairs on the payoff pitch. First walk, first base runner for the Pilots. It comes with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, we go to Hunter Backstrom at the top of the order. Los Angeles native from Fresno State. Keep an eye on Chadwick at first base. Pilots have won the last 3 Alaska Baseball League titles. Slapped high into the air, foul out of play.
That foul ball is brought to you by the
Years ago,
Center.
let's see, it was 2014. The Goldpanners and Pilots were playing a league game in Fairbanks and had one of the most ridiculous, unbelievable innings you'll ever see. I'll never see it again, I'll tell you about that. When we go to the 4th, a strikeout of Backstrom ends the 3rd inning. Luke, Zach, 6 strikeouts so far in 10 batters faced. We're still scoreless after 3.
Number 15, Mikey Bell, coming from Fresno, California, and going to Gonzaga.
Mikey Bell leads off for the Goldpanners, who still trying to get the offense sparked. A tough offensive stretch here the last 3+ games. Goldpanners, no runs today, no hits. Neither team with a run or a base hit so far. And it's the 4th inning of work for Colin Hunter, back out on the mound, the 6'1" right-hander from Sacramento State University. Panners and Pilots, 0-0 game. Goldpanners starting with Bell, Leiterman, and Munoz here in the 4th. The 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, fouling it back and out of play, is Bell. Goldpanners will travel north tomorrow. And Carlos Gonzalez, associate coach, going to stick around. His brother's visiting. So we might go do some sightseeing tomorrow. The 0-2. Misses for a ball. Mikey Bell struck out swinging in the 1st inning. 4 strikeouts so far. And that one is lined into center field off the end of the bat and pretty much right at Stalga. And Bell is out number 1 here in the 4th. Goldpanners and Glacier Pilots.
Goldpanners, number 7, Matt Leiterman.
First meeting in a bunch of years. I promised I'd talk about the wild inning we saw in 2014 at Groudon in Fairbanks when the Goldpanners and Oilers met up. And in the 3rd inning, the Panners were batting. That is a foul ball. Off the bat of Leiterman. 0 for 1, reached on an error in the 2nd inning. The Panners scored 18 runs in 1 inning against the Glacier Pilots. 18 runs. Now, that's not all. I mean, that's enough. It would be enough. But the Panners with those 18 runs, 5 home runs, 2 grand slams. 2 grand slams in the same inning by the same player into shallow center field, caught by Stelga. Leiterman is out number 2. The same player, a Cal Irvine product by the name of Chris Paulino, hit 2 grand slams in the inning. Chris came up a 3rd time in the inning with the bases loaded. He had a chance for 3 grand slams in the same inning. He was not able to accomplish that feat, but a memorable game and performance for Chris and the Goldpanners, and an inning that I will never see replicated or topped. 18 runs and 2 grand slams by the same player. Pretty spectacular. The rest of the game was pretty boring, as you might imagine. Two balls and a strike on Munoz. Chris Paulino wasn't a power hitter either. He only had a couple more home runs the whole season. Strike 3 called, and 1-2-3 again for Colin Hunter. Pitchers dominating today. 0-0. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th. Garo Von Dane here at Mulcahey Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. Father's Day edition of Goldpanners baseball here on PannerVision. Scoreless, hitless, as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. A new pitcher into the game for Fairbanks. That's all for Lucas Zach. Excellent performance for him. Enter Brandon Weiland. Brandon Weiland, number 9 in your programs, the freshman from Cypress College. He plays for Panner associate head coach Carlos Gonzalez, and also former Panner coach Anthony Hudding. Weiland, 5'11", from Anaheim, California. 2 balls and no strikes. He starts to Dylan Marks. Marks, Hefner, and Shanahan, 2, 3, and 4 spots in the Pilots' batting order. That one is popped high into the seats.
That foul ball is brought to you by the Insurance Center.
Anthony Hutting, head coach at Cypress. He was an assistant under Mike Grahovic here in 2014. Mike Grahovic's son Gavin, now a star freshman with Texas A&M at the College World Series. What a talent he is. You'll be seeing Gavin Grahovic in the big leagues. You can count on that. Weiland with 3 balls and a strike on Marks. Bases empty, bottom of the 4th. Nobody out. High into right center field. To his left goes McCain coming in. Will reach up and make the catch. Weiland takes care of the number 2 hitter, Dylan Marks.
Up next to bat for your Glacier
The
Pilots,
Pilots have had just 1 base runner so far. That was a 2-out walk in the 3rd inning. And here comes Carlos Gonzalez quickly out to the mound to talk to Weiland, who again plays for him at Cypress. And was there an injury concern there? The home plate umpire is out there as well, as is catcher Chavez. And some must have been it, just a injury concern or something of that nature. Coach Carlos back to the dugout. Yeah, now Luke Hefner stands in, the designated hitter, off the fist, right back to Weiland. Plays it nicely, tosses to first. 1-3 put out of Hefner and brings up Shanahan. So Weiland, his second appearance, his first gave up 2 runs. Trying to put up a 0 here today and keep this a scoreless game. Neither team with a base hit yet. Neither team hitting well as of late. Glacier Pilots below the Mendoza line on the season, well below 158 over their first 5 ABL games. And the Goldpanners overall, 257 as a team coming into this game, but just a $181 over the last 3. Here's the 0-1. Hit for a strike, good one. Breaking ball in on the hands, just catching the inside corner. Panners today are 0 for 15. Make that 0 for 14. The 1-2. Outside 2-2. 2 outs, bases empty. Brendan Shanahan, the batter, flew out to right in his first at bat. Got him swinging. They'll throw it to first base. Ball was dropped. Good inning for Weiland. Goes 1-2-3 on the Glacier Pilots. We've played 4 complete from Mulcahey. Still no score. Goldpanners baseball here on Father's Day, June 16th, 2024. We are just 5 days from the midnight Sun game. Ball and no strikes. Back out for his fifth inning of work is the starting pitcher number 23, Colin Hunter. The right-hander facing Donovan Ratfield, Griffin Harrison, and Matthew Chavez. Time for the Panners to get the bats going here in the fifth. Let's see what they can do. On appeal, they say Ratfield won around. Donovan out of Gonzaga. At first base today. Ball and 2 strikes. Takes up and in 2-2. Decent crowd here enjoying a sunny Father's Day afternoon. Ratfield's 2-2 into center field. Will it drop? Yes! The first hit of the game. And who else but Donovan Ratfield to get things started for the Goldpanners with a leadoff single here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Griffin Harrison. It's really hard to see the bullpens from this press box. I don't see any activity from what I can tell on the pilot side of things. Harrison takes upstairs. Griff 0 for 1, grounded out to second in his previous at-bat. Takes a strike, it's 1-1. Harrison, a .208 hitter this year. That number sure to go up from Griff. Throw to first. Ratfield back safely. 0-0 game. Ratfield getting the first base hit for either team here in the top of the 5th. Like a curveball there from Hunter. One-two coming to Harrison. Ratfield takes his lead, doesn't go. That one's hit to left, and that will drop for a base hit in front of the left fielder, Backstrom. Back-to-back singles for the Goldpanners, and have something cooking here in the 5th. The Goldpanner veterans providing some offense here in inning number 5 and trying to spark a rally. So now it'll be Matthew Chavez standing in with 2 aboard for the Goldpanners. Chavez struck out his first time up. Fake throw to second base.
Number 26, Matt.
Creeping in from his spot at first is Jake Dodge. Over at third, Shanahan moves in too. Swing and a miss. Matthew Chavez for the Goldpanners. Chance to give the Panners the lead. And they'll look the runner back. Chavez had a good start to the season in limited plate appearances, 5 for 13 so far. If you're wondering, Goldpanners have just 1 home run this year. Haven't shown much power thus far, even though we had some days at Groudon where the wind was really blowing out. That'd be a good time for the second Panner home run, wouldn't it? Here's the 1-1. They'll throw to second, runner back safely. A hot afternoon here in Anchorage. Anchorage used to have a minor league hockey team The Anchorage or the Alaska Aces won some championships. And many locals will tell you that downtown has just never recovered since the loss of the Aces, which was just a few years ago. They played right next door here. Now, other than the Pilots and Bucks in the summertime, you have junior hockey here in the state. It's probably the biggest thing. Here's the 2-2. 2 on, nobody out. Broken bat flare to float behind second base where it's caught, so everybody stays put. Chavez out number 1. Pilots are really expecting Chavez to sacrifice bunt. Panners will rarely do that. And here's Zach Doyle in the 9 spot. Reached on an error in the 3rd inning. Second at bat of the game, second turn against Colin Hunter. Hunter looks the runner back to second base. That's Ratfield, who led off the 5th with a single. Harrison followed with a base hit. Now Chavez pops out to second. It's up to Doyle, then McCain. That one's popped up. Foul territory, but it will get safely out of play off the Bucks clubhouse. The Bucks are set up on the third base side, and the Pilots on the first base side. So they share this facility. Junior hockey, as I mentioned, is really big in this state. The Anchorage has a new team, the Wolverines. And Fairbanks, a wildly popular team, the Ice Dogs. That's youngsters like starting at age 16 playing hockey. Ice Dogs pack in the fans. And of course there's Division I college hockey here in the state. University of Alaska Anchorage has the Sea Wolves, and University of Alaska Fairbanks has the Nanooks, which is the native word for polar bear, not just a character in a Frank Zappa song. Slap back and out of play. Count is 0-2 on Doyle. Trying to deliver and put the Panners on top here in the 5th. 0-2 pitch. Reaches down and drops one right side. Good play by Hunter. He never really grabbed it. It bounced off his glove, and he just pushes the baseball to first base, takes care of the out, goes 1-3. Both runners advance, but now there are 2 outs. Pilots will take that trade, and we go to the top of the order for Troy McCain, who again is really struggling at the plate this year. Just 2 for 25. Now would be a sensational time to get a big base hit. And wait a second, is that McCain or do we have a pinch hitter? We do have a pinch hitter here. What is the number? Hayden Iverson grounds one to short. Panners squander a chance. 2 on, nobody out. They do not score. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, still 0-0.
Batting first at the bottom of the 5th, number 3, Luke Stolga.
Well, Panners had an opportunity in the top of the 5th inning. And now we go to the bottom of the 5th. Luke Stelga, Chase Knight, and Jack Dorn do up. 5, 6, and 7 spots in the Glacier Pilots batting order. Pilots and Goldpanners. Panners with no runs on 2 base hits. Pilots no runs, no hits through 4. Second inning for Brandon Weiland, who went 1-2-3 in his first inning of work. This is with his first 2 pitches, 2 balls and no strikes for the youngster from Cyprus. Stolga 0 for 1 with a line out to center field. Can't help but think about that 0-2 national championship against the Glacier Pilots. When you see these uniforms, what a great championship that was. Panners trailed, rallied off of a reliever that had not given up an earned run all summer. And then reliever Zach Bash pitched the final 5+ in the game to get the victory for the Goldpanners. All 4 to Stolgan, a lead-off walk issued by Brandon Weiland. So trouble here in the 5th as Chase Knight stands in. The Pilots shortstop, left-handed hitter against the righty Weiland. Will keep an eye on the runner Stolga at first. Big lead, doesn't go anywhere. The bunt is popped up and caught by catcher Chavez. And we talk about it a lot. Sacrifices just are not guaranteed at this level. It's not as easy as the big leaguers make it look. And Knight pops up the bunt. Good job by Weiland and Chavez to make the catch. That's the first out of the inning. Brings up Jack Dorn, who was a strikeout victim in the 3rd. Still the first time through the order for Weiland. 6 batteries faced. Outside for a ball. Zach Bash, the reliever I mentioned, who finished off that victory for the Goldpanners in the national championship. A 0.64 earned run average that year, still a Panner record. He's drafted by the Red Sox. Short time in the minors before starting his post-playing career. He was the general. He took my job with the Goldpanners in the mid-2000s and then went on to work for the Anchorage Bucks under Dennis Mattingly, the late Dennis Mattingly, and then recently completed his baseball career, at least for now, working in the front office for the Oakland Athletics. What a team that was. Brendan Ryan on that team, but was injured. Barely played in that World Series with a broken collarbone. Blake Gill out of LSU took his place, going the MVP, although Ryan Haig had an argument to be the guy, a former Northridge player. Smoked into center field coming in. It'll land in front of the center fielder, Hayden Iverson, who took over after pinch hitting in the top of the 5th. That's the first Pilots hit of the game. And now they are in business with 2 on and just 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. So Jack Dorn, the first Pilots hit of the game. After an 0 for 13 start for the Glacier Pilots. Now Jake Dodge has a chance to give the Pilots the lead. Getting late in this game, bottom of the 5th of a 7-inning contest here at the Anchorage Scout Showcase. Here's the 1-0 from Weiland. He will step off. Panner pitching staff in 0-2. Studs like Mark Kaiser, Kevin Welch, Lewis Clark State boys. The team was coached by legendary Hall of Famer Ed Sheff. The incomparable Ed Sheff. Weiland misses for ball 2. Such a privilege to have worked with Ed Sheff when he was coaching the Goldpanners. Never be another one like him. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Jake Dodge trying to give the Pilots the lead. Blows it by him. Weiland strikes out Dodge. Second out of the inning. Weiland will face Evan Chadwick, Pilots catcher in the 9 spot, who walked his last plate appearance. And Weiland get out of this jam and keep this game tied at 0. The right-hander drops in a strike. Looking confident on the hill. The Cypress Charger, second Goldpanner appearance. Time is called. Beautiful cloudless day here in Anchorage. Hot one. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Deals one up and away. It's ball 1. Panners off the next couple of days and then take on the Fairbanks Men's League All-Stars. We'll have that for you on PannerVision on Wednesday evening, 6:30 p.m. start. Runner takes off for third. Throw is there. Safe is the call. No throw to second as the other runner goes behind. And the Pilots have him at second and third now. Boy, close one. Chavez tried to get it there, but a great jump by Stelga, and he gets in just safely. That's a gamble there with 2 outs, but it pays off for the Pilots. But can they take advantage? It's 2 balls and a strike to Chadwick. High 3-1. You don't have to serve something on a platter here because first base now open. But you're also facing the number 9 hitter, so try take your chances with him if you can. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Oh boy, Weiland a strike away from getting out of this. Weiland with a 3-2 count. Runners at second and third and 2 down. A payoff pitch. Got him looking. Weiland fired up. Pilots strand a couple. Zeros on the board. We're headed to the 6th. Garrow Von Dane here in Anchorage. Good ball game here between the Goldpanners and Pilots. We have a pinch hitter for the Goldpanners as Alex Garcia will bat. Alex Garcia batting for Rocco Caballero, number 11. As two Alaska kids go at it here. A new pitcher for the Glacier Pilots, Colton Hayes. Colton Hayes from Wasilla, Alaska, plays at Taft, and now going against Alex Garcia of North Pole, Alaska. Caballero ends an 0 for 2 day at the plate. Panners struggling to hit the ball again today. Picked up 2 singles in the 5th, but that's the first 2 base hits of the game and could not score. We're now in the 6th of this 7-inning game. And Garcia trying to spark a rally. That hit him on the jersey. Tried to back out of the way of it. Still got him. So Alex Garcia takes his base. Hit by pitch. And that'll bring up Mikey Bell.
Batting now for the Fairbanks Goldpanners.
So Hunter
Mikey Bell
goes 5 scoreless. Or not Mikey, pardon me. Colin Hunter goes 5 scoreless. Mikey Bell, the batter. Just 2 base hits surrendered by Hunter. And that one hits him. Oh, so tough start for Colton Hayes. And Pilot's pitching coach will come out of the dugout. Didn't we see something like this against Matt Sue a couple of days ago? Panners were held scoreless the first 5 innings by Matsu pitching, and then a reliever comes in the 6th, hit a couple of batters, gave up a base hit, but hit a couple of batters, walked a couple, threw some wild pitches, and the Panners came all the way back. And now Colton Hayes struggling here and has put the first 2 Panners on base by way of hit by pitch. So Leiterman due up, and then it will be Munoz and potentially Ratfield. 0-0 game, top of the 6th. Colton Hayes will pitch to Matthew Leiterman. Garcia takes his lead at second. Swung on it, popped towards the Pilots' dugout. It will land out of the reach of first baseman Dodge.
That foul ball is brought to you by the Insurance Center.
The Wasilla product on the mound. About an hour north of here. Right along the Parks Highway. It's the highway that takes you up to Fairbanks and beyond. Down and away, skips away from Chadwick, but not far enough for runners to advance. I'm wondering if the double steal would be on. Garcia super fast at second base. Panners not running just yet. Ball and a strike on Leiterman. Goldpanner left fielder. Takes outside for ball 2. Reached on an error and flew out to center field so far. Leiterman, one of the top hitters on the team so far this year, batting .435 coming into this game. Well outside, 3-1. Hayes having trouble here with his control in a 0-0 game in the top of the 6th. The 3-1 pitch to Leiterman. Foul back right at Chris. Chris, did that get you? Hey, he's got the baseball. He's all right. He's all right, everyone.
The Insurance Center.
Way to go, Chris. There's the baseball. And now it's 3-2 on Leiterman. Let's hope that's a good omen. Swung on a pitch away, missed. He was running to first base, but I think he was out on the play.
Next up to bat for Fairbanks Goldpanners, number 6.
Dead ball, so both runners advance. That's the first out of the inning. That was ball 4, too. And another pinch hitter coming up here. Number 13 for the Goldpanners, batting for Munoz. Jesse Espinoza, the sophomore from Point Loma out of Corona, California. Batting in the DH spot for Munoz. Runners at second and third, and now 1 out. Infield in. Takes a strike. It's going to be a tough inning here for Colton Hayes. The right-hander trying to keep this game scoreless in the 6th. But he's got Panners at second and third with 1 out. Both were hit by pitch. Espinoza, the pinch hitter, fouls that one out of play. Munoz completes an 0 for 2 day. Donovan Ratfield is on deck for Fairbanks. Assistant Nick Rush in the first base box. Carlos Gonzalez over at third, giving instructions to the runner Alex Garcia. Hayes is at front here, 0-2. Misses for ball 1. Infield still shallow. Espinoza. Poke one through. The right-hander readies with his 1-2 offering. Outside 2-2. Doesn't throw very hard, does number 20. And the 2-2. Ooh, fouls it off the glove of catcher Chadwick. Pitch was upstairs. Espinoza just getting the bottom of that baseball. Awaits the 2-2 offering. Way up and away it goes to the backstop, and Garcia comes in to score without a throw, and it's 1-0 Goldpanners. The first run of the game comes here in the top of the 6th inning, and it comes on a wild pitch. Over to third goes Bell, and it's now 3-2 on Espinoza. Boy, it looks a lot like that inning against Matsu the other day. In that inning, Panners scored 3. 1 so far, base hit would add another. Here's the payoff. Hits him. Skipped in the turf and hit Espinoza in the foot. Third hit batsman of the inning. And how long will the Pilots let Colton Hayes continue in this game?
To bat for Fairbanks Goldpanners, number 28, Donovan Ratfield.
He'll work to Ratfield. See if Donovan can knock him out of the game. Chops one foul at home plate. Ratfield 1 for 2. Leadoff single in the 5th. Panners had 2 on, nobody out, did not score. 3 hit batsmen in this inning. 1 strikeout, no hits. 4:30 local time. This game an hour and a half old. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Gold at the corners, a 1-0 Fairbanks lead. Obviously love to get a little more insurance here. Pilots still have 6 outs. The 1-1 to Ratfield. Inside for ball 2. One out. 1 run is in. Harrison on deck. Popped him up. Big swing from Ratfield, but it's right up the third base line. An easy catch. And the double play as the Goldpanners ran and did not realize. Mikey Bell at third base ran, and that was the 2nd out of the inning, and then he's doubled off. Panners, though, take the lead 1-0 here in the top of the 6th. Panners take a 1-0 lead in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and we get our look at number 20, Matthew Gonzalez, a 5'10 junior from Lompoc, California. And of UC Colorado Springs, Matthew Gonzalez, the right-hander for the Goldpanners in a 1-run game. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, the Panners doubled off to end the inning. What could have been a big inning. Got 1. Let's hope that's enough. Gonzalez will face the top of the order, Hunter Backstrom, Dylan Marks, and Luke Hefner. Backstrom 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Those were both against starter Lucas Zach. Brandon Weiland exits after 2 excellent innings. No runs, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. 0-2 from Gonzalez. Swing and a miss, a 3-pitch strikeout. Tough day for Hunter Backstrom at the top of the order. All 3 Ks.
Up next to bat for your Glacier Pilots, number 7, Dylan Marks.
And here's Dylan Marks, 0 for 2. Strikeout. Popped out to center field in his second plate appearance. Anchorage, Alaska, Mulcahey Stadium, our last game of the Scout Showcase. Getting reacquainted with Anchorage, Alaska. The Panners haven't played in quite some time. Hit to the left side on a couple of hops. Bell. And it sails past Ratfield, and hustling over to third base goes Marks, and he gets there. And the error puts a runner at third base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning of a 1-0 game. And I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if it was out of Ratfield's reach. It looked like he had it lined up, or if he just missed it. But either way, the error puts a runner at third base with 1 out, and the Pilots have an opportunity to tie this game up. Luke Hefner 0 for 2 so far in the game. This first look at Matthew Gonzalez, who wears the stirrups. Infield in. 1-1. And it's not, yes it is. Swing and a miss. The 1-2. Got him swinging. We'll throw to first base. Keep an eye on the runner at third. Strikeout of Hefner brings up Shanahan.
For the Glacier Pilots, number 14.
Nice to see them guarding a runner at third base yesterday. I saw my Pittsburgh Pirates surrender of steal of home just by not paying attention. And the ultimate Pittsburgh Pirates play. Carlos Gonzalez jogs out to talk to a pitcher from his neck of the woods out in Lompoc. Carlos comes from. Now the battery mates talk things over. Trying to keep that runner at third. That's a big second out.
Don't forget to join us tomorrow night. It's the Seattle Kraken mascot who will be throwing out that first pitch.
How about that? The Kraken mascot going to throw out the first pitch here tomorrow. We talked about sports in Alaska earlier in the game. Seattle tries to make Alaska its region. The Root Sports channel shows the Seattle games up here. Mariners, Kraken, Seahawks games are always on TV here. It's worked to some extent. A lot of Seattle fans up here. It's the closest home team they have. Oh, and 2 on Shanahan with a runner at third, and 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Goldpanner lead. The 0-2 got him swinging. Strikes out the side. Great work for Gonzalez. His Goldpanner debut. Still 1-0 Fairbanks after 6. Head to the 7th and final inning, no matter what the score winds up being. We had a tie a couple days ago against yesterday against Matsu, Panners, and Glacier Pilots. Panners leading 1-0 as we start the 7th. The new pitcher is former first baseman Jake Dodge. So Dodge comes over from first to take the hill. And the first pitch to Griffin Harrison, stopped at third, up and throwing, and the tag applied at first base. The throw coming from Luke Hefner, who takes over at third. He was the DH because third baseman Shanahan went over to first base with Dodge taking the hill. So Shanahan at first and Hefner at third, and they combine for the 5-3 putout of Griffin Harrison. Panners just 2 base hits today, and that one's grounded to short. Quickly 2 down on the 6-3 putout of Chavez. And now Zach Doyle. 2 Goldpanner hits today. In the last 4 games, 20 hits combined. Now, yes, the last 3 are 7-inning games. Still, batting average not going to improve today, barring a giant outburst here with 2 outs in the 7th. Panners were batting .181 in their last 3 games. That number's going to go down today. I suspect they'll have a few more hits against the Men's League All-Stars, but then a tough task trying to get the offense working against the Seattle Studs as Dodge throws that one behind Zach Doyle, who's 0 for 2 in this game. Chop foul at the plate. Garrow Von Dane here in Anchorage, one final time for Mulcahey. Glad the Panners were part of the Scout Showcase this year. Taking on some ABL teams. One is fouled off right side. No doubt Jake Dodge taking over on the hill because the Pilots are back to league action here momentarily, and clearly don't want to use another bullpen arm. Grounder to third. Safe is the call as the tag was missed. The throw was off the mark. So the E5 charged to the new third baseman, Luke Hefner, allows Doyle to reach and the inning to continue.
Up to bat now for the Fairbanks Goldpanners, number 22, Hayden Iverson.
The third error charged to the Pilots today. Pilots have 3 errors and 2 hits. Runner takes off. They got him picked off, but there's no throw to second because no one's covering the bag. There's some mental lapses here for the Pilots in the 7th inning. Give a stolen base to Zach Doyle. Hayden Iverson's second plate appearance after relieving McCain. Takes a strike, 0-1 against the new pitcher, Jake Dodge. Into the gap in right center. A base hit for Iverson. Rounding third and scoring is Doyle. And a big insurance run for the Goldpanners as they make it 2-0 here in the 7th inning. Man, it feels like they haven't had a hit in eternity. And Iverson finds the gap.
Alex Garcia.
Third hit of the game for Fairbanks. The scorekeepers here giving that last play a base hit. And the throw pulled the first baseman off the mark. And we'll see if they change that. Backhanded stop deep in the hole, long throw, no chance. Now that is an infield hit. Back-to-back hits have Gold at first and second now with 2 outs and a 2-0 lead for the Goldpanners. They start to pick up some hits here in the 7th inning off of Jake Dodge, who took over from his position at first. Mikey Bell gets another at bat. 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch. Chops one third base side. That's a fair ball. Another long throw, and it's on the money. Good throw from Hefner that time. And that ends the Goldpanner half of the 7th. But they add a run and lead it 2-0. Last chance for the Pilots when we come back. Andrew Trotman in to try and finish this one off for the Goldpanners and give them their first victory in the last 4 games. Number 44, Andrew Trotman out of Fairbanks, Alaska. And Trotman, the 4th pitcher of the game. Luke Zach, 3 scoreless. Brandon Weiland, 2 innings, no runs. Matthew Gonzalez, 1 scoreless. And now Andrew Trotman. Stolga leads off here in the bottom of the 7th. It's grounded to 3rd. He's out number 1. Chase Knight and then Jack Dorn, the last hopes for the Glacier Pilots, now facing Trop.
Now batting for the Glacier Pilots, number 13, Chase Knight. And now batting for your Glacier Pilots, number 15, Jack Dorn.
And Knight takes first base, and that brings up Dorn 1 for 2 so far. I have the Glacier Pilots with 1 base hit and 1 error, and 1 reaching on 1 error today, as that one's lifted high into center field where it's caught by Iverson for out number 2. Scoreboard is reading things differently than me today. But in my book, the Goldpanners have held the Pilots to just 1 base hit. That was a 1-out single for Jack Dorn in the 5th inning. Goldpanners with 3 hits, Pilots with 1. And that ball is smashed to right field by Dodge. And it is gone. A 2-run home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Pilots have tied the game. Can you believe it? The Panners are going to have to wait a little longer to end this winless stretch. Their second hit of the game is a 2-run home run. The Panners have given up 3 home runs here in Anchorage.
Evan Chadwick.
2 to Chugiak. And now 1 to the Pilots. And that one really hurts. Now Chadwick will try to win it for the Glacier Pilots. And one thing we know is the Panners' winless stretch will extend to 4 games. High pop fly into center field, and that will do it. But the Pilots pick up a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 7th to earn a tie against the Goldpanners, and that's the way the Scout Series comes to a close. And in many ways, a disappointing one for the Goldpanners as they failed to win a game here in Anchorage. Instead, bookending a loss with a couple, or opening with a loss, and finishing with a couple of ties. 2-2 the final to the Glacier Pilots. And the Panners will leave Mulcahey Stadium in the rearview mirror and head back north to Fairbanks. And will take on the Men's League All-Stars on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. back at the friendly confines of Groudon Memorial Park in Fairbanks, Alaska. Thank you all for joining us on this Father Day edition of PannerVision, and from the entire Scout tournament here at Mulcahey Stadium in Anchorage. We will bid Anchorage farewell and greet you again from Groudon on Thursday night. Have a great Father's Day, everyone. We'll see you on Thursday. For Chris Carlson, engineering and producing the broadcast, I am Garrow Von Dane saying so long from Mulcahey Stadium in Anchorage. The Panners tie the Pilots 2-2. Good day, everyone.